What are the rules on Channel Point's tie? I was asked this question recently, and there are no rules about the tie. Whatever's whatever the spreadsheet says is at the top of the list. That's what is the top game basically. So if there's a tie, and for whatever reason we just can't discern why one game is over the other one, then you're just gonna have to put an effort to break the tie. Once the war is over, I'll save up and buy my own house. And good luck. Merchant has tried to travel from Windshire to Tormund by foot, but they don't have to go through the flower fields of Perpetua. Right, that's why he arrived poisoned, blind, mute, and half paralyzed. By the gods, one should always carry enough remedies. By the gods. Hey. Charm of the Learner. That sounds like something where we'll get like one more SP per battle. Gets 2 times additional SP into the character's pool. That sounds worth using. I just need to remember to actually equip it on somebody. Although the person that I was going to equip it on was going to be Sienna, but she has like 15% crit or 10% crit or something like that. And I'm not getting rid of that for additional SP. You know what I'm saying? Come to the UK and you understand depressing rainfall? Nah. If it rained every day, that would be a good thing for me. State your business. If you have none, then leave me alone. I'm busy, as you can probably see. I just see you standing there. Cannot watch multiple streams, too difficult. However, you have watched the same stream on multiple devices, and the treasure box can appear on one and not the other. That in particular is because one treasure box is one stream is the primary stream that you're watching, and like Twitch knows that you're watching on multiple devices on the same account, blah 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 blah. Because you're on the same account. Mind 2%, or mind plus 2, and then 10%, or is that's a little confusing. But that will probably go in place of this one, maybe? I don't know. Well, yeah. 10% will give him 4. Gotta heal more. Explore the city. I have one everywhere that I can think of here. I haven't seen anybody else that I can talk to. Good thing N is before U in the alphabet then. I'm not even sure that it's there is an alphabetical order attributed to the rankings, but I'm pretty sure The way that I have it sorted is it's by points first, and then reverse alphabetical order on the requester's name, and then presumably the name of the game. But when it was brought up to me earlier, it was made clear that that's not necessarily happening all the time. So it's confusing. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I can actually buy these materials here. That's fascinating. Right, I can get this deal. Ooh, I can get this deal too. Super rare material pack. Yak grass fiber. Really? Get this ring. Let's get this bangle. Heavenly ring. Reduces cost of skills by 20%. Ooh. Ooh. Defense by 10%. Another one. What are you using again? 2 agility and resistance? I think I'm gonna give you the defense 10%. Doesn't seem like you got 2 defense off of that. Or presumably you should be getting 5 defense, but you're only getting 2. It's suspicious to me. Due to the heavy rain, the people of Torment decided to build an entire city underground. Let's see. Remove from weapon. That into weapon. We're gonna get rid of fire attack. Oh, but that costs 3 slots. This is 2 slots. Hold on. That's disappointing. Would have to be rank 5. Definitely disappointing. That into weapon. Oh, and now this is 2 slots. Am I just going insane? Maybe I'm going insane. Upgrade weapons. Recurve bow. Forgot to equip that on him. You won't if you just visited, but living here for years, yeah, you wouldn't like it, especially since it's not just the rain, but the dark gray clouds. Worse than any game's gray visuals you've ever seen. UK is the king of gray, dull, and dreary. I'm not going to say that that sounds great, but what I am going to say is I would be okay with that. Like, there's been times where we've had like 3 weeks, 4 weeks of just clouds in the sky, and like, that's great. What's wrong with gray clouds in the sky with some rain? Give me the rain. I came to bring the rain. Hardcore to the brain. Aranda Bolero. Shimmering garb. Yeah, I'll take the rain all day, every day. Y'all ain't gonna convince me that having gray clouds in the sky every day is not a good thing. It is just not possible. Greedy traders. Now that we're at war again, they immediately raise the cost of food. Heard they will start giving out coupons again. We're back where we started. What a tragedy. Upgrades. Here we go. Some new weapons. Sashlik, recurve bow, espada, akazishi. I'm gonna need my party members for this. It says I don't have a Copus, which is it's a little weird. Tarinian armor. We'll get even with them, Escania. We've had enough of this everlasting war. The Grand Grimoire will crush them all. Slay them all. Why are there so many people standing here? They are outraged by food costs. War has been declared and they are already charging triple the price. Since the king tried to ban alcohol during wartime, we were supposed to concentrate more on killing than drinking. And it worked, except for the fact that people were killing themselves instead of the enemy. Man, I sure could go for a burger. Why do you have a portrait? Dario? There is a way to talk to that doggo. Thirteen Sentinels is out of place. You figure because it's just ignore numbers and go straight to S. I don't know. I guess you're right, given the 5K slot. How strange. It's very weird. People are complaining that we raised prices after the war was announced. Not us who makes the prices, it's the demand. How am I supposed to decide to what to buy? You actually don't need anything, do you? Well, yeah, but I still want something. Ooh. Go down here. Goes right there. Man, how do I talk to that doggo? Guess it would have to be like sort of house right there, but I don't see any entrances to houses right there. Sounds like a terrible idea, building a city underground because of the constant heavy rain. It does kind of sound a little weird. I will give you that. A lot of money. Okay, one leads right there. Two. Get you, Dan. Buckle food dog. Can I help you? Would you like some tea or maybe some coffee? Perhaps you would like to use the toilet, or maybe you want to sleep in my bed. Huh? No? Then why did you barge into my house uninvited, huh? Get lost, you impudent vermin. You're lucky I don't go around and start smashing some of your pots. Fucker. Not to me with that disrespect. I need some alpha wolves to continue my chain. Paralyze the same enemy 4 times within a battle anywhere. City of Tormund. Defeat all unique monsters. Get 3 herbal collars. I've got 1. Gain 4 class emblems anywhere. Interesting. They started building this underground city before the war, which means they started over 150 years ago. They had to stop, though, and never picked it back up. Floors below are unfinished and blocked. Sometimes I wonder how much deeper it goes. Not only did you build a city underground, but you didn't even finish it? Use. Okafus. There must be a way to visit the doggo around here. There are seasonal depressions built On an ugly weather disposition. You don't believe there is one for a sunny disposition. War is always the top priority everywhere in the world. I mean, which invention do you think first found its way to Tormund? The common umbrella or a sky armor? Shockingly, the sky armor came before the umbrella. Hard to believe, isn't it? What you mean that's the wrong way? That's the wrong way. Where do you think this Grand Grimoire comes from? Who cares? It's powerful enough to destroy an entire city. That's enough information for me. Well, this is the Adventurers Guild. You're not a member of this guild, so leave me alone. Letter from Adventurers Guild in Farnsport. Let me see. Oh, wonderful. So you are our newest recruits. Congratulations. Must have been difficult to pass Cortara in these dire times. Don't worry, you can now count on us from here on. We offer you plenty of services. First, you can use our shop. It has some unique items, and you can find plenty of materials to upgrade your equipment. Second, you can get useful hints on how to find certain unique monsters. Third, we will pay you for how many different unique monsters you have defeated. Just speak to me to get your rewards. Happy adventuring. I did it! I did it! I'm an adventurer now! Need some hints on how to find unique monsters. Since you are a member of the guild, you will find helpful adventurers on your travels who will share info with you. Not you, right? Adventurers Guild is run mostly by Polko, Lisvan, and Hyoms. What you got? 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 Ooh, wow, you are selling some stuff. Makes a destroyed sky armor functional again. Ooh. Only some overdrive stuff, that's nice. Thanks for stopping by, Aeromeal. Appreciate it. Well, there, keep up the good work. Now people want to talk to me. Not sure you've noticed, but there are invisible bridges in Cortara. You can find one in the central area and another one in the forest southeast. Wonder who built them. Want to check them out? Oh, there's nothing to find there. I already checked. You heard of the Tomes of Fiends? You can get them through deals. With their knowledge, you might be able to get new loot from sky armor enemies such as Skill Ram. Unique monsters have special conditions that make them appear. If they still don't appear, make sure to leave and enter the area again. Really? So you are now part of the guild. Welcome. If you have any questions, just ask around here. Where the Sokofu am I supposed to go? I haven't found a way to visit that dog. You know a couple of people who get that seasonal depression thing? They have alarm clocks that slowly brighten up the room to help with that. This is all new stuff to me. I don't experience seasonal depression. At least that I know of. What is Killian doing there? Oh, it's you, Glenn. Did Sir Victor return? Not yet. What are you doing here? Taking in the scenery while the rain has stopped. Still can't believe it. The Grand Grimoire is right under our noses. And? What do you mean, and? That's the reason we're here. We wanted to know more about it. Who had placed it in Wernshire back then, and above all, why? What then? I'm sorry, what do you mean? What do you plan to do with this knowledge? What's this about? You don't know, do you? I know what you want. You want the stone for yourself. I want to change this world. Having such a weapon would be helpful, even though you know what it is capable of. Do you find it despicable? The grimoire kills people. The sword here does the same, and yet we wield it every day for our cause. You can wield a sword and choose your targets. The grimoire obliterates everything. Don't get me wrong, every human life is precious to me, but just look back. We are walking on a mountain built of corpses. The blood of many is on our hands. The blood of people who were ready to die for their cause. We do not kill the innocent. If possible, I would not want to use the grimoire. It is much more useful as a scare tactic than a weapon anyway. Enemies will throw their weapons at the mere sound of the name. Remember how our enemies feared the band of the Iron Bull. Do you know the reason why I want to change this world? No. Came from a merchant family. We were quite wealthy, but since dealing with money is frowned upon where I come from, we were not very influential. We had a big house, servants, always clean clothes, and enough food, but all this did not protect us from the world outside. My younger sister went out riding one day, and the horse went wild. It raced through half the city until it finally stumbled in the harbor district, fell to the ground, and broke its leg. My sister sought help in an area that even in broad daylight was visited only by scoundrels. Weak and completely on her own, she could not defend herself when they came for her. Dozens of men threw themselves on her one after the other. Killian. Our butler found her in a gutter hours later. She had fallen into a coma. I was so angry that I rowed into the harbor that same evening to look for the culprits. But who was I supposed to find? Half the neighborhood had taken advantage of her. Sorry to hear that. I haven't seen her for years, but from letters my parents send me, I know she is still sleeping. Glenn, I was a very liberal person whose greatest role model was Alfred of the Band of the White Dragon. A man who achieved fame with his mercenaries and at one point was as powerful as the armies of the greatest kingdoms. Since he came from the common folks, he tried to abolish the royal houses and establish democracy. I wanted to be like him, and after the incident with my sister, even more so. I could have felt anger for the common rabble, but I did not. I did not want to fight the lower class, but rather the causes that made them this way. I set myself the goal that if my sister ever woke up from her coma, she would look into a new world. A better world that I created with my own hands. And for that, I must make use of different means. Like the Grand Grimoire. The first thing your sister will see when she wakes up is not the beautiful world you have created, but the monster her brother has become. Don't worry, we will never get to that stone anyway. These are just empty words, Glenn. There they are. I think I have some time until Sir Victor returns. I wonder how Len is feeling. This day has been hard on her. Maybe I can pay her a visit. That is, if they let me into the castle. I need to get some water. Nobody's going the opposite direction of that. Light and the chemical reactions it does to our eyes, let alone skin and other receptors, is key to our survival. We would die in the dark, and not just because of plants. Oh, oh. It's not like it's nighttime 24 hours a day. Like, there's still light outside. You know, come on. Come on. Vitamin D for our bones, the list goes on. Get out of here with that health talk. Alright. And here I thought you liked a game with spine that didn't fall into Power of Friendship and let you ransack every household for free. Hey, you know, if you want to disrespect me, I'm gonna break your pots. That's just how it's gonna go. How do you keep track of both where you are in chat conversation and also take note of new messages that require urgent response, like Eromil saying bye? This is a wonderful question that I don't have an answer to. When a new message appears in chat, I do see it. And, you know, I take a quick read. You know, because sometimes there are messages that I don't want to read or don't need to read. So I take a quick glance at them. And, you know, when the opportunity arises, you know, here's what my chat looks like. That's what my chat looks like. So, you know, I have quite a bit of space to work with. And, you know, I just find out where I left off. Sometimes it's much harder than others because, you know, there's lots of messages. And sometimes, you know, there's not a lot of messages and it's very easy. We are grateful that you brought Her Highness back. Prince Frederick hasn't been himself after she vanished. Now that the princess is back, I'm going to make an extra effort to keep the place in good shape. You're the guy who returned Her Highness, right? I've been told you're allowed to visit her, but this area is off limits, you understand. What about messages you don't want to read? You noticed the other day you take great diligence in avoiding slurs and swears. Is this for YouTube? Do you reckon it be good practice for streamers in general? I don't say slurs and swears because I actually don't say slurs and swears. That is a part of my everyday life and how I just approach things. I'm going through this barrel. So it has nothing to do with, really it just doesn't have anything to do with anything. Like there's no grand reason. There's no agenda or anything like that. It's just, you know, I don't want to use those words, so I don't use those words. And, you know, far be it from me to tell people what is the best strategy on how to communicate with language. But I certainly don't find it very difficult to avoid them. Valandis' greatest pride was once the Mage Academy of Nissa, and even today people speak of it with fervor. Before that, Valandis was an isolated place with only a few mining villages. The reason why the founders of Nissa chose such a random location to open the greatest academy of all time is still a mystery. Perhaps the students were not supposed to be too distracted by other things, who knows? Soldiers around His Highness call the Grand Grimoire the weapon of the gods. I wonder which gods they mean. The old ones, the church's one god, or the great gods? Maybe they mean the 7 true kings. At least with the 7 true kings, their existence is scientifically proven. Asnodale the dragon is sleeping on this very continent. Scientifically and technologically speaking, Volandis lags a century behind the neighboring countries. All the resources were spent on the war. One might think that at least the war machinery would be up to date. Fiddlesticks. After 150 years of war, the coin master was happy to find enough money to pay the soldiers and keep the old machines running. Recently, however, we have received a few more modern machines. I wonder what deal Prince Frederick has struck, and with whom. See, so it's ethics. Fair enough. I wouldn't classify it as ethics. I don't think there's anything ethical about choosing to use certain words over other words. I don't think there's anything unethical about using those words. Wondered if it worried your position in the algorithms and all. I am not. I am not worried about any of that. I guess is the best way to put it. You know, I'll keep it 100 for anybody and everybody that's watching. I'm just doing my own thing, you know, and you know, if things go great. If I'm still streaming to just, you know, myself and all the bots and stuff like that, great. If people are chatting in chat, great. Nobody's chatting in chat, great. Like it's all great. I'm just chilling. I'm just playing video games, and I just happen to be streaming them. And sure, you know, I've done things to make the streaming part of it more interesting, more engaging, perhaps. But I'm not trying to get things to the point of like. Let me explaining this is more difficult than it needs to be. Let's just leave it at I'm just doing my own thing, you know. This is one of the reasons why viewer requests. Like I have the ability to veto them and stuff like that, because I'm just trying to have fun, and I'm just trying to play video games. You know, the everything involved with the streaming stuff, like it's just there, and you know, sometimes I'll interact with those different elements, but anything that I'm doing in regards to the streaming, whether it be for YouTube or any of the like hobby videos that I do or whatever, like this is all just for fun, you know, for me to get more fun. The viewer request thing, I've been super hesitant about doing a viewer request thing because I've seen how people pick games in the past, and I know exactly how that will play out for someone like me, but it was getting to the point where I was starting to play games that I didn't like, but I found it fascinating to play games that I didn't like and try to figure out and dissect what about them I didn't like. And so I was like, okay, viewer request is is an interesting avenue to explore some of that, in that the goal is for people to request great and awesome games that I would be totally interested in playing. But I know that I'm not going to get much of that. I'm going to get games that I'm either not interested in playing, or games that I'm just not going to enjoy or have much fun with or whatever. But there is some appeal in exploring some of those things. And so that's where I decided, like, okay, maybe this is worth the experimentation. And, I can iterate on it as it goes on. And that's just kind of where we're at right now. This is year 8 of streaming. If you go to my hobby YouTube channel, which I started like a year or two ago, it has like 28 subscribers or whatever. I have a video series there called the Stream and Review. And I take all the analytics of the stream and I throw it out there for everybody to see. You can see how well or how poorly I'm doing in the streaming. You can see how well or how poorly I'm doing on YouTube. You can see how well certain games are doing on YouTube in comparison to others. You can see how much money I've spent on streaming in comparison to how much money I've earned from YouTube. And if you go watch all of those videos, okay, there's like 7 of them now or something. If you watch all of those and you come to the conclusion that, yeah, Axelrod should still be streaming, then we're in completely different lanes. Because if anybody goes into the streaming space to achieve some specific goal that is very much the opposite of mine, which is have fun, such as, like make money or get some sort of influence somewhere or what have you, it is going to end in complete and utter failure. This stream, as has been going on for 7 years, 7.5 years, whatever the time has been, and I'm at the point that I am, which is to say that I'm still in the 99%. So anybody looking at my stream is basically just saying that, like it's a failure, but I'm not looking at it whether my stream is a success or a failure. I'm just trying to have a good time, I'm just trying to play some fun games. And if I'm not playing a fun game, I'm trying to get through the game and maybe figure out why I don't like it. And it's honestly as simple as that. There's no nefarious goals. There's no grandiose goals. I'm not trying to make money. If I was trying to make money, I would have quit like 6 years ago, maybe even sooner than that. If you go watch the Stream and Review. Shameless plug by me. Go watch the Stream and Review. It will illuminate you, perhaps, or maybe not. I don't know. The princess is a sweetheart. She has a sympathetic ear for everyone. You're the guy who returned Her Highness, right? Been told you're allowed to visit her, but this area is off limits. Why is there no map for the upstairs? Look, you dropped all the good dishes. Don't think because you've just returned that I'm going to handle you with kid gloves. You will make up for all the work you missed, do you understand? Answer me, what kind of behavior is this? I hope you remember your status. You're at court by order of His Majesty the King. You have no more rights than a common servant. Yes, I am sorry. Oof. For sure, but if another streamer like you wanted my opinion on what is best streaming practices, I'd oblige you, would I? You also wonder if you should conscientiously try to reduce your humming, or whether it's just a funny thing to notice or can be endeared by. Here, I'm gonna explain it like this. And this is gonna be the answer that nobody wants to hear, because it's the most worthless answer, and it's the answer that everybody will give, but it's, in my eyes, it's also the most correct answer. And that is, you do what you want at any and all times. It's your stream, and you handle things the way that you feel you are most comfortable, and you feel that you'll be able to be yourself more. There's no point in trying to build up like a persona, or like an alternate self to then portray to the stream, because it may not happen immediately, but someday you're gonna have some sort of conflict with your off-stream self and your on-stream self, and it's gonna cause you problems. So you might as well just go into it and just do things however you want to do it, because it's so much easier to implement a strategy that you are interested in, and that you care about, or that you have investment in, I suppose. Not investment like money, but investment like interest, or like a something that you want to pursue, because that's motivation for you. The problem with seeking advice from other people about what should you do and how you should improve is that they're going to give you advice on what they have seen, what they have experienced, and how they feel people should improve based off of that. But that advice is not applicable to anyone else's stream, but basically what they feel that may be. And if you don't watch the other person's stream, you could be giving the complete opposite advice that would be beneficial for that particular person. I've told Crayson this before, and I repeat it to him so many times, and he just doesn't listen to me. Crayson wants to start up a YouTube, but he doesn't know how he wants to put his videos on YouTube. And I keep telling him, just put it on there. You don't have to put any effort, any work into it. Just upload the VODs. And the people that are interested in watching that stuff will find you someday, eventually. It may take a long time. It may be really quick, but they will find your stuff, and then they will start watching your stuff, and they will start liking those videos because of how you're doing them. And along the way, you can start changing things. You can put more time into things. You can alter things. But you just have to start doing things and figure out, I don't actually like doing this anymore. I'm going to change it to do it this way. And, sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't. But it's so much easier to figure it out on your own because you're not like beholden to this advice that's being lorded over your head. If I told you, uh, you know what, your humming is totally completely annoying and I don't want to hear that at all. Now you're going to go into a stream, every stream from now until infinity, and you're going to try to figure out some way to stop humming. But when I was watching you stream, you were explaining that, you know, like I hum to kind of like fill the silence. It's just like something that I normally do. It's like a comfortable thing for me to do. So why would you put yourself in a position to make yourself uncomfortable on stream to bring in people that may or may not be okay with that? I I I don't think that's a good strategy. Um, the the best advice is don't listen to anybody else's advice. Go your own way, and if you want to be successful, sometimes if you want to be successful in the sense of I want to make a career off streaming, it might not happen. It probably won't happen. The the chances of it happening are probably so minuscule that it's not that you probably just shouldn't start at all. I went into streaming because I wanted to do the narcissistic nostalgia thing. I There are so many games that I have played in the past that I wish I could um, kind of revisit those playthroughs again, and that's what sparked me to actually stream. Was okay, now I have a recording of all my playthroughs. I can relive the exact moments and feelings of my playthroughs as I go back and watch them, which is something that I've been doing uh, as time goes on. Like I'm still going through it, and as I've done that, I found different avenues that I can try to take advantage of that narcissistic nostalgia. Um, you know, instead of just watching the videos and be like, oh yeah, I remember that part. It's like, oh, maybe I could start ranking the games that I like, and you know, maybe I can do like a top 100 list. That would be super cool. You know, so I'll start working on a YouTube video for that. And then it got to the point of, oh, you know, maybe I can do an encounter report for some of these games. You know, that would be kind of fun. And I started doing something like that. And you know, as the stream was going on, it's like, you know, I'm not much of a, like, I don't care about the numbers, but it would be very interesting for other people, or maybe even just for myself, to chronicle how the stream has been performing. And, you know, maybe there's something in there that could be helpful for other people. So I start a series like that. And then I do a games of the year video, and then I do this, and like it just kind of blooms into a bunch of things. And I'm like, this would be really cool if I did this. Like I would be very interested in watching my thoughts of this. And it all it all circles back to the narcissistic nostalgia of me going back to watch myself and relive moments from my past that would be forgotten and stuck in whatever miasma that is stuck in my brain. And so that's I think that's a type of mentality that someone should approach it with, is like go into it in a direction that you will enjoy it and have fun with it, and be able to make decisions based off of what is amplifying your fun and what is detracting from your fun. That was a lot of talking. That's my own personal approach, I suppose. Yeah. And as an Asperger, you profess not to understand people by and large, so hearing from the fellow relatable streamers is very helpful for you. Terrible at lying about your persona. Fair. I'm in a very awkward position because in a lot of scenarios, people's streaming personas are very like heightened, I suppose, on stream. You know, like people who are very outgoing and stuff like that might be like super outgoing on stream, and I'm kind of the opposite. You know, like I'm just a normal whatever person off stream. You know, I don't necessarily have so many issues reading out loud or trying to convey my thoughts, but for whatever reason, while I'm on stream, I'm considerably more shy. I have a very difficult time reading things out loud, and I have difficulties concentrating on things that are happening in the game and trying to play the game and convey my thoughts at the exact same time. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but you know, if you were to talk to me off stream, I would probably be saying considerably way less ums and uhs, and my pauses between my statements would probably be considerably less long. I don't know. My brain works weird. Your advice is very helpful, actually, but it's to try to find answers within yourself and not from other people, which unfortunately makes people feel it's unhelpful because it sounds like throwing yourself into the winds, those same winds that left them in the state they are in. But it's important to preserve the value of being you. I will say that there are some very good pieces of advice out there, but it usually revolves around a lot of like satellite topics. When it comes to running someone's stream, you're never going to, well, I don't want to say never, but like to emulate someone else is basically setting yourself up for failure in my eyes. Chasing trends and things like that, I feel like you're setting yourselves up for failure. That used to be a thing, and many people have gotten successful off of that, but times change all the time, which is why advice from other people can often just not work. Someone who got started streaming 10 years ago and giving advice to new streamers today, that to me, that advice is completely worthless, because their success is built on a strategy that was formed a long time ago, and you can't build success in that exact same way today, or even a year from that time that they started streaming. Some people just get lucky, and like that just makes no sense, but they just get lucky, you know, right millisecond on the right day with the right streamer in the same category that ends their stream exactly the same millisecond or within a few seconds of your stream ending, and it's just like a billion things need to go correctly multiple times, sometimes in a row, sometimes for years at a time, just for you to get a taste. When you started, you dedicated one day a week to a different game, and they were based on wanting those nostalgia experiences, whether it be from games you remember enjoying, Friday favorites, and those you never got around to playing before, Thursday flashbacks. It's why your first game was Beyond Good and Evil, because you never played it when when it first came out. You wanted your very own project and something to dedicate yourself to. Okay. See? And you went in with the plan. You got a lot of good things to say. It just needs to be pried out sometimes. I'm generally I'm gonna say this, and it's not necessarily applicable to what I'm talking about, but it's very much in my nature. I'm very much a selfish person. So I'm just not going to like say things for no reason, I guess. I'm like, if someone asks me a question, it's very much a sure, I'll answer that question, or it's a don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to, and it's always one of those. And the second option doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna tell somebody something bad or good. It's that the question that you're asking is dangerous, and there's a possibility that my answer could affect said person. I always refer back to the old trap question. Your significant other walks up to you and says, "Am I fat?" Me, if I think you're fat, I'm telling you you're fat. But if you don't want to be told the truth, you shouldn't be asking the question. That's how I approach it. You're very eloquent and doing yourself a disservice. It's a pleasure listening to you. There is no eloquence whatsoever on stream. I've been going, so I've gotten decently far. I've gotten decently far in my early years of streaming, and I was way more eloquent then. There was actually times where I wouldn't be saying uhs and ums for multiple periods of time. It was quite fascinating. Bring back old Axelrod. Let me be clear, you're not looking for a recipe, you're looking for your thoughts. As someone who has been through this, and you're really glad this conversation has delivered that. Agreed, which is why what Crayson talks to us about, all the people who made a living earned it, makes it feel rather invalidated, because you and I have put in many hours in this. I do think that the people who have gotten success have earned it. Some of those people may not have, I think luck is always involved, but I think there are people out there that have created their own luck, or made it so that if luck was going to be a factor, that every time the luck needed to be triggered or something like that, that they made that possibility much higher for themselves than other people. There's a difference between just turning on your stream every day and just doing that, to marketing yourself and all the other aspects that could be involved that make the endeavor much more like time consuming, but give yourself all those opportunities. Anyways, I need a mark. And we can get back into the game.